The Ark, one of the toughest, hardest survival games. In this series we will be spending 100 days in hardcore Ark, so if we die, we lose everything. The goal is to kill all 4 bosses and complete the game, and ascend to greatness. Shout out to Zany Zebra for the idea for actually doing this. Our settings are pretty similar from the game, but if you want to see more in depth, just check my description for mine. A couple quick lessons to mention: my face cam will be there for the first 6 days as I downloaded my streams instead of separately recording them, but as the series gets along the quality will improve loads, so keep watching. Sorry about the face cam. And one last thing, the first 2 days were technically 8 days as they were 4 times as long each by accident, but I counted this by making the ones after 4 times as short, and after that they were each half an hour each. That's why it seems like we completed so much on day 1, because technically it was day 4. But we began our first day spawning on the northeast side of the map, where we wanted to be. Now this is supposedly meant to be a hard zone, but we'll see how it goes. So due to having around 1,000 hours in the game over the last few years split between console and PC, I know a bit about the map. So I found the closest explorer note. Now explorer notes are notes left by previous survivors which give you a lure of the story, but when you pick them up they give you double XP, or in this case quadruple XP. Now on the way I picked up some berries as we'll need a food source for now, and I also started punching dodos as I wanted to expand my dinosaur empire, as I will need some protection even if it's as little as a dodo. Then I started to craft some basic tools so I can get essential resources to start my journey, like wood. Then I said hello to a Dilophosaur, but he didn't seem to like me, so I ran away. But what's that in the distance? I saw a Sarco. I didn't want to face that, so I had to turn around, face the Dilophosaur and kill him. After killing him with the trusty help from my dodos, I harvested some juicy hide from him, which is a really essential resource early on. I also tamed a Dilophosaur, as these will be a bit better protection than a dodo. After knocking out a level 2 Dilophosaur, I was feeling confident, so we went for a trike, and somehow this happened. Oh, he's running. He's running. He's running. He may die beforehand, by the way. Yes! Oh, he must be so low, 13 health. Let's get this bad boy tamed up, this will be useful. Nearing the end of the day, we used our Triceratops to carry our resources, which had our newly built raft in it, which will be our temporary base from now on. We have raft, let's go. While upgrading our raft, we got attacked by another Dilophosaur, but I decided I was going to tame it. I made a saddle for Rob so I can ride around on him and use him as a berry gatherer, where you can collect hundreds of berries at a time. Then I forgot to mention I also upgraded the raft by added some foundations and a mortar and pestle where I can actually make these narcotics to end up taming better dinos. While farming, I heard a familiar noise. Yes, it was a pterodon. When I saw its level, I wasn't too happy, but I decided to tame it anyway because flying is flying, it will get us some places. I started off with bowling it obviously, using my trank arrows, but trank arrows are a waste on a level 2. I switched to my slingshot, that did the job just fine. After that I decided to make some narcotics using the narco berries we got from Rob. This will help us tame better dinos in the future. And then my really high level pterodon decided to tame. But for the rest of the day I farmed to get a forge, which then we got enough metal to make a smithy, which starts us off at day 2. Now with a smithing table, this is what we'll use to make metal tools like a metal pickaxe and metal armor when we get a high enough level. I also placed a campfire so we can start eating proper cooked meat. With that I made a new metal pickaxe and I was hoping I'd get more metal from these rocks, but I didn't, so I decided to travel up the mountain with my pterodon and I managed to get a lot more metal from these nodes. But on my travels back I managed to find some ants. Now these were easy to kill, and when I harvested them I got chitin, and I managed to craft some new armor. It's around the 3rd best armor in the game, so it helped protect me longer, and damn, I looked fresh. After that I finished making the rest of the metal tools, but then there was the Sarco from day 1, dangerously close to our base, and I tried my chances with taming it. I pulled out my crossbow and my narco arrows, shot it for a few minutes, and after a intense battle it was knocked out. Then I put some meat in it. It was level 33, which was decent for my level, and hopefully this would help us kill bigger dinos and hopefully help us travel around the map easier, especially in water. So I set off up the mountain to try find a decent level Argentavis, but that's when disaster struck. Want to stay. Oh, we don't have stam, we don't have stam, we don't have stam. Uh-oh. Boys, this might be it. Boys, this might be it. Boys, this is it. Boys, 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 boys. No. 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 So I did manage to swim back safely by myself, but I was a bit salty, so I put on my Sarko saddle and wreaked havoc in the ocean. After I got over it though, I headed back, found the RG again and knocked it out with my trank arrows because I remembered I still actually needed it. And while I was there, 2 saber-tooths tried to jump me, so I just tamed them. But then we faced our biggest opponent yet, a Rex, and I decided we could do it, so I went for it. And as a victory reward, I decided to use the metal we got earlier and turned it into some flak armor. Day 4 started off with me going over to Kano Island, finding a purple drop and actually getting an alright shield blueprint that would help me survive later on if I do craft it. After feeling confident from the day before, I believed I could get Big Tails to be even better than he was. So I went to Kano Island, took on some Rexes and even more stuff and got him up to a decently high level. Why aren't they attacking each other? Oh, there's a lot. Boys, there's a lot. I don't know if Big Tail can make it. Oh, Big Tail. Oh, Big Tail's a god. Why is Big Tail so goddamn good? I started the day off with going to a red drop and found this great shotgun. Then I found this higher level RG, so I lured it into the trap, knocked it out and tamed it. Then I ended the day hoping to get something good from this loot drop, but in the early hours of day 5 I managed to find this level 107 Pterodon after it tamed, which was going to be very useful as it's much faster than an Argentavis. Then I stole some cementing paste from a beaver dam. On the way back I saw this decent level Carno and it was stuck, so I thought it'd be a nice and easy tame. And I did not expect it to turn around and climb up the rock and eat me. But I thought okay, this will be fine. While he chomps on the RG I'll start shooting him, right? Uh-oh, this might not be good, boys. Don't kill the RG, but this could be. No, oh no. Then some pesky compies started biting on my ankles and I jumped forward and the Carno bit me and I was injured. I can't move. But then it started to run away and cower in defeat, and it knew the end was near, so I chased after it, put in my last few narco arrows and bang, we knocked it out. For most of day 6 and 7 I just farmed a lot of resources as I wanted to build an actual base. While doing that I also found this really cool looking Pterodon, so I tamed it. And I also added a temporary farm where I was going to make rock carrots and citronal seeds so I can make bug repellent, so when I go in the caves the bugs don't actually attack me, which is going to be so useful. Now while farming I also found a breeding partner for my RG, so I thought I might as well get it, but now for the next few days I kind of did some farming. After testing my gun, I went looking for a place to actually build my base as it was all ready now. So I decided this mountain looked very cool and I found a peak, but it wasn't quite flat enough, so I went around the corner and found a flatter peak with a really nice view of the redwood and decided this is where I'd call home. I ended up making a rifle to protect myself, you know, being in a new neighbourhood and all, but then I packed up my RG, put all the base stuff in both of them as there was a lot of it, and we set sail. And when we arrived I had to take care of a few angry neighbours. Then I started placing the foundations down. Now this was going to be a circular base and I was hoping it would turn out right. This ended up taking the rest of the day as I had some difficulties with the foundations not working, so I had to use ceilings, but I had to lower them. But you get the gist. So overall, that's pretty much it. I ended up being really happy with the outcome of the base. I think it looks really nice and clean because I could put my birds on the top and landowners on the bottom. And inside I put down my fabricator and try and make it look as clean as possible. But since I don't have an industrial forge yet in the middle, it's just going to be normal forges. But when I can afford it, the big industrial forge will go straight up through the middle. I put down my smithies and that, and yeah, overall I'm very happy with it. But then I'm kind of an idiot because I forgot to click record for day 19 and 20. And what happened in those days, I brought all my important dinos over, so like my Sarko, my Trike, my Carno, and Miguel and Big D the Dodo, because they're important from the stream. And yeah, I'm very stupid for not recording, but we got attacked a couple of times, but overall it's quite an easy journey over here. And then on day 20 I just organised all my stuff into the smithies and fabricators. Then stole a bit more cemented paste from beavers near where the mountain was. Then I set up another farm with a water reservoir, so when it rains it will keep the water there to do up the farm. Now the new farm was much better because there was glass above it, meaning it had the greenhouse effect, so things would grow much quicker. And finally, to end day 21, we set up some lights. Not torches, but some nice cool lights with a generator. Now for the whole of day 22 I was trying to find a baryonyx to help me do the caves because I've heard they're quite good, but it didn't really go to plan. So on the way back I managed to see a Thylaco, I think that's how you say it, and I've never tamed one before, so I thought I might as well try it. It wasn't easy, okay, these things are powerful, but I did manage to find a good vantage point where I could shoot it. It started to run away and I knocked it out. So I put some spikes around it to protect it, and the nicest meat that I could give it at the moment that apparently it liked was cooked meat, so I put some campfires down, cooked some meat, gave it to him, tamed it, and with my creative naming, I called it Theo. And when I got back I decided to test Theo's new ability to climb walls, and it was pretty cool, but enough playing around. I got all my stuff ready at the beginning of day 24 and I headed to the lower south cave to get the artifact of the Hunter. Now although I had got Theo up to a decently high level, I still wanted more before I went in the cave, as I've never really gone into caves before, even though I've played this game loads, so I was quite nervous. So I got a couple XP nuts on the way to help boost his health, stamina and melee. But it was time to actually enter the cave, so as I went down it was actually pretty quiet for a while. But then we met some spiders and my bug spray didn't work, and then I realised I have to put it on my dinosaur too. So I killed the spiders and put the bug spray on my Thylaco as well. And then we got an ascendant slingshot. I mean, it would have been better on the first day. Anyway though, I jumped down the gap because I knew I could climb back up if I needed to. I killed a scorpion and climbed under this little ledge that Theo couldn't get under, and I got the artifact of the Hunter. It seemed a bit too easy, didn't it? Anyways though, I explored the cave a bit more because I wanted to see if there was more drops than just one. Turns out there wasn't, and all we got jumped by was 3 Sarkos, which was too much for Theo. His health was going down rapidly, so I just upped and upped myself out of there. Left, I was happy with my ascendant slingshot that I'm never going to use. But when I got out, I didn't really want to get off Theo yet because I was really enjoying how he moves. Like, you can jump and climb walls, so I rode him the entire way back to my house for the rest of the day. But once I got back, it was the beginning of day 25, and I decided I'd just go straight over my mountain into the central cave where the artifact of the clever is. I already have my stuff, you know, I was feeling pretty confident. So once we got there, I headed in. And there was a bit of a problem. Theo couldn't fit in, which wasn't good. I didn't have any cryopods yet, but I thought I could probably go in by myself if I brought on some bug repellent, so I crawled in. There were a lot of creepy crawlies, not gonna lie. Now, the scorpions would come after me because the bug repellent doesn't work on them, but I thought maybe I could sneak around the other ones. So, you know, I killed the scorpions, shot them. I sometimes brought some of them back to Theo if there was too many. But I tried to sneak past the bats, and let's just say that did not go too well. So with a mix of bats and titan boas and scorpions and that all coming after me, I decided I'm going to leave the cave for today until I get maybe a cryopod or something so I can bring in Theo. For the rest of day 25 and early 26, I looked for penguins to get organic polymer, but for some reason they don't exist on my map, so I decided to just farm some obsidian and make some hard polymer, which I didn't really want to do because it's kind of expensive, but I needed cryopods for the cave. So I found this really cool sunset when I went to go find a drop, and it looked familiar to my sunset when I was editing. Am I in the Ark? But anyway, we found a golden drop, and I got a bit excited over the blueprints in there that I forgot to actually build the cryopods. Yeah, I'm that guy. But I won't bore you with the rest of day 26 and 27, I basically did just some normal farming, and I went to a drop and actually made cryopods this time instead of getting rid of it. But yeah, that was basically it for those days, just farming metal by hand and that. Yeah, it's not ideal doing it by hand. Beginning of day 28, it didn't record, but I dropped an ankylosaurus on the top of my base, and I just shot it out with arrows, and it was a really decent taming pet because it just ran around in circles, and I knocked it out because I was sick of getting metal with my hands. And also, again, it didn't record, but I was sick of like dire wolves, raptors, and saber-tooths attacking my base, and they ended up killing my trike, which was my berry gatherer, and I think they killed my dodo, and it was really annoying me. So I set up some spikes and a behemoth gate, and we were a bit more protected now. So I still needed a berry gatherer as I wanted to make more narcotics and get tinto berries to make med brews. So I tamed up a really low level parasaur, brought them back to base. And it was a pack of raptors, and I was taunting them that they couldn't get in. So I was going to go over and say hello, but somehow they fit through the gap, and just watch this. Oh. No. God damn it. So, I had to go back out looking for berry gatherers, and somehow I found my old dimorphodon called Mr. Breloom, and he had some decent blueprints in him, and he also had a flashlight which would be pretty useful. But I was in luck. Just across the river was another parasaur. But nothing's ever easy, is it? We got jumped by some Troodons, and I thought, okay, this won't be too bad, I'll hold up my shield and let my Argentavis do it. But they got a couple hits on me, and although my fortitude has been upgraded a fair amount, these were high level and there was a lot of them. And I was gone, I was knocked out. I thought this was it. All this work, like 40-50 hours of work so far, is just going to be gone down the drain. Luckily, my Argentavis was able to hold them off a bit. My monkey did die, sadly. No! But eventually we got back up, but I was not happy with this. I was very annoyed. Nothing was going my way today. And I was out cold for a good few minutes, but on the way back it turned to day 29, and we got a bit of a reward from this drop. We got a pre-built pike and a crossbow. Both were pretty good. Day 30, I farmed metal. A lot of metal. Then, in the early hours of day 31, I built a refrigerator and some air conditioners and some lights and some wiring to reach those lights. Because outside I built a little platform where I can put my air conditioners for babies to grow. And then I put down this light to light up the air at night, and it was looking quite cozy for any new babies coming into the world. So I put an Argentavis egg there. Inside I also placed my refrigerator, obviously. But after a long day of farming, I came back and the Argentavis had hatched and had already grown up quite a bit. I think my maturation rate, I know I said that completely wrong, but I think it's too high because I could literally see him growing. But anyway, I called him Crispy Bacon. Yeah. For the rest of day 31, I just searched the entire map for Rexes, but the only good thing I came across was a level 88 Megatherium, and I thought, I actually really want to get this. These guys are insane in the caves, because when they kill bugs, they get a 2 times damage buff. So by day 32, I set up a trap by using 2 billboards, a large dinosaur trap, and then putting a billboard behind it when it walks in. But it started to attack the billboards, so I had to fly out of render distance and come back and it had chilled down. Then I shot it with my new crossbow for like 5 minutes. I knocked it out like twice as quick because it does 217% damage. It came very close to dying, which I was pretty scared about, but I went away again to get some prime meat, got this really nice flak chest blueprint, and headed my way back, gave it the prime meat, and I named it Sid. Yeah, after that guy. Then for the rest of day 32, I got together all my good armor blueprints and started crafting them because I needed to start wearing better armor, especially when going in the caves and stuff. The beginning of day 33 started off with me patching some holes in the fence, so the incident didn't happen again. But I carried on searching for Rexes high in the snowy mountains, in the lava mountains, in every mountain, in the ravines, on Kano Island where there's supposed to be loads of high level Rexes, basically everywhere along the map I searched. But on day 34, to make it slightly more productive, I got all the XP notes when going around with my Pterodon, so I was nearly at level 100. But the fog wasn't helping either. But on day 35 I switched to my Thylaco because it made it a little bit more exciting riding around, like it's a bit better, but I gave up in the end because I was wasting a lot of time and decided to go back to the central cave with my Megatherium. And as you could see, I was way more prepared this time. I had all my new good armor on, I brought my shotgun with ammo, I brought med brews, I brought bug repellent. I was prepared for this cave, I was not going to die. Okay, this guy shreds. Oh no. As easy as that, the Megatherium made it a piece of cake. We didn't get anything good from the drop, but we managed to get 2 artifacts because I waited for it to respawn so I didn't have to go back in the cave. And we also got thousands of chitin from that. Day 36 started off with me making 2 more forges and filling them with metal as I still really wanted to get an industrial forge. And then I moved my water reservoir inside so there was less pipes going through my base and it looked much more cleaner and I had a nice little farm coming along, you know. But then for the rest of the day I looked for Rexes again. I know, I shouldn't really be doing this, but I found an okay level and it was level 88 and you know, all this time I searched I thought I might as well get it. It was near an Alpha Rex though, which I didn't really want to mingle with, so I shot the T-Rex a few times to lure it over to me, let it bite my Argentavis' backside a little bit, lured it into the trap. I made it out of stone gates this time because I knew the Megatherium last time was destroying the wooden boards, and then yeah, I just started shooting it out. But then there was a sudden blue light to the right. Turns out it was just a drop, but I still have a bit of PTSD from playing PvP and I thought it was one of these guys. But then eventually after a while it got knocked out pretty easily, obviously put in the prime meat. And I decided I might try actually take on the Alpha Rex. Since I can fly, it won't be able to hit me too much. And it kept getting stuck eating this carbon enemies. I don't even know if that's how you see it. But yeah, I kept biting it and then eventually I just sat down and shot it a couple times with my shotgun. And I killed it and I was pretty surprised I was able to do that actually. That's the only alpha thing I've really ever killed. But by the time we had done, our Rex had tamed and I named him Sir. I don't know why. He's our most powerful creature, so I thought it was quite fitting. And I cried him up, headed back, threw him out and showed him his new friends. I got this cool helmet skin from killing that Rex, so I put it on and it actually looks really cool. And also to flex on all the other dinosaurs, I put up a trophy on the front of my house with the Alpha Rex's skull, and I thought it looked really cool to be honest. And then I just carried on farming as usual. Okay, so day 38, 9 and 40 disappeared from my hard drive. Now, don't blame me, it definitely wasn't me forgetting to click record maybe for like the 3rd time. But basically on day 38 I went to the snow to get some polymer by beating penguins with a bat and to get some oil. But we also found a megatherium while we were there that was a decent level, and we may be able to breed with our one and use these for the brood mother instead of the goddamn T-Rexes. But we did that, collect oil. It took like 2 days because I used an axe and I forgot to bring my pickaxe, and oil was much quicker with a pickaxe. And then I had to craft cementing paste, which is really annoying. The chitin's fine, but you need so much stone. For some reason the beaver dams aren't respawning, even though I got them like 30 days ago. I also crafted the indie forge, which was expensive as hell, but it's so much more worth it because it burns metal so much quicker. And I decided to breed up the megatheriums as I wanted to make a megatherium army, because they do get a bug buff, so they would be good for the breed mother if I can level them up enough. And on day 41 I also tamed a beetle buffer, because when these fellas kill bugs in caves and stuff, they get lots of cementing paste. And also when making my med brews, as you saw a second ago, I got a bunch of red dye, so I coloured in my whole gear and I think it was looking pretty cool. But for the rest of the day I just farmed a little bit more, made a little bit more scuba gear, and bred up the megatheriums, obviously more, which I'll be doing over the next few days anyway. I cried up Kermit the Frog and a megatherium, as the goal today was to go to the swamp cave. Now I don't need the artifact, it's for the dragon and I want to do the broodmother first, but there's tons of leeches in there and I need lots of leech blood to make lesser antidotes, so if I get mega rabies from bats in the next cave I need to go to, I can cure it and not die. You know, like last time I got close to death because I got mega rabies. So I travelled there. It took longer than I'm willing to admit to find the hole. Yeah, I had to watch like 3 different videos. I'm good at knowing locations, but not exact like holes in the ground. I put all my unnecessary things in my RG and put on my scuba gear / ghillie, as that's what you need for this cave because it's kind of poisonous. And let's say my character looked a little bit goofy. Alright, I don't know how people figured out you wear the stuff rather than a hazmat suit, but like, I don't know. I don't think this guy's getting any dates like this. But as I strolled in, pulled out my megatherium, I actually felt like a god. Like, with my Thylaco, I feel like, you know, it's kind of a nice match with the stuff, but the megatherium is a god in this cave. He barely took any damage and my screen was just filled with death notes. Like, it's actually insane. And after all that work, killing all those things, even losing my Kermit, what was I going to get out of this good red cave drop? Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Wow, this game's cool. After that mostly successful cave journey though, I realised I still needed rare flowers, so I went to the swamp with Manny, got some rare flowers. Some Troodons were assholes, knocked me out, just kept hitting my armor, weren't doing any damage, but just really deteriorated it, so I had to repair it when I got back, and then I created the lesser antidote. Finally. Day 44 started off with some base improvements, as, you know, it needed to start looking a little bit nicer. And after that, I started getting ready for the southeast cave. Now obviously I got my bug repellent, lesser antidote, and med brews. And as a good luck gesture, there was a golden ring drop, which is the best one in the game. And, well, it's not like I was expecting to get anything decent from the best drop you can get. So that wasn't giving me much hope if my day would turn anything out like this. But I cried up Theo. Thought I'd actually give my Argentavis a name since I've used it so much. Called it Bus. I mean, that's pretty much what it is at this point. And I headed off on my long search to find the cave, as it was quite far down on the southeast side of the map. I wasn't too excited about this one. This is going to be quite a hard cave. There's going to be lava pits and stuff, so I did bring lots of grapples just in case. But this is the final artifact we need for the brood mother, so if we do this, we can get some element and some tech, which will be awesome. But eventually I arrived, and I was feeling kind of confident, but still in the back of my head worried about those lava pits, because I've played them in boosted servers before, and they just kill you. They're a bad mistake. But anyway, I threw Theo out. Theo didn't fit. I cried Theo up. Then I threw him out, and I started my cave dwelling. Damn, this game looks so beautiful sometimes. Oh my god. It's so dangerous, but it looks so nice. No, 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 no. No, I need to cry you, no. Ah! Oh, I made it! I made it! I survived! As you can tell with that cave journey, it didn't go as expected. I'm happy I survived, but we lost Theo to the most tragic jump ever. I don't know why, I didn't even check the jump, I just rushed and jumped over, it was so stupid. Then I tried to cryo him, dropped in, had to use all my med brews healing myself because it hurt a lot falling in that lava, like I'm surprised I survived. But luckily, with the God's grace, I made it out alive. Day 45 started off with me breeding some megatheriums, farming med brews, and in the night time, I sat by the campfire and thought about what I've done so far as I've been rushing a lot recently and I needed some time to relax. Day 46, I took care of some home intruders. I stole a beetle bufo from his natural habitat. I knocked that beetle bufo out because I wanted to go back to the swamp cave to get more cementing paste for megatherium saddles. Once we arrived, all was going well. I brought another megatherium so I can level him up in the process to help with the boss fight as well as getting cementing paste. And it carried on going well until my scuba tank broke, so I started to die. I managed to cryo up my beetle bufo, but I couldn't find my megatherium, so I left and got out of there, and my RG decided to pick another fight. Luckily, it was only a Carno, so he easily beat him. But once I got back to base, I picked up a new scuba tank, took another megatherium with me to go help me find the other one. We arrived back, and my megatherium was nowhere to be seen, and these bugs were here, so I thought, oh, I might as well get loads of cementing paste from them real quick with my beetle bufo. I forgot cave dinos are level like 400 and my beetle bufo was level like 50. And yeah, they got through him pretty quickly. And let's just say this was the biggest mistake that I've done through the entire series. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I'm stuck. Ah! No. No. I'm not really sure what to say now. I guess I'm dead. I guess this is the end. I'm very sorry I didn't make it to 100 days, but do not leave yet, because I want you guys to let me know what you want me to do next. I can restart this on the island and do another 100 days, but not skip the first 50, but make them shorter so you don't have to watch them again. I can do a different map, different challenge, just let me know and I will do it, because I love making this. This game, this world, this video has been one of my proudest moments in kind of gaming and making videos. I feel like this is my best video I've ever made. I put over 100 hours into it, so I'd appreciate any support and feedback, and share this with anyone you think may like it. But let's take a look back on the world. Obviously, my most proud thing I've done is build my very cool circular base. I've never built something like this, and I like my Alpha Rex skull on the front. Even inside something like the Indie Forge, I have never made one of those before, especially solo in a little world like this. You know, I got my first Rex in a PvE world, first really a lot of things, and I really enjoyed this experience. My first time going caving and getting the artifacts. I've never gone to get the artifact before, and it was going well until I made some stupid decisions. So yeah, this has been my Ark attempt at 100 days. Definitely more of these to come. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Here's some Ark artwork to look at that I thought was pretty neat. But this has been it for me. Have a good day. If you made it this far, you guys are a legend, and I want you to comment 46 days. Goodbye.